I'm not professional, we don't have any music. But we're still green, which means something's working. We're live somewhere, but it says the live stream is off on YouTube, which means I just talked a long time for absolutely nothing. Says it's starting. There we go. It actually worked. That is a unique situation indeed. Right, now it's working. Finally. It says it's a horrible stream health, so this might not last long. It says it's okay there, but YouTube says it's orange or whatever. It's not green, so I don't know what's going on. I tried, I rebooted everything. We got 2 people watching us. Get in. I am just going to pay some attention to this beeping noise behind me for a second. The iCharger does not want to turn on. Probably because I have it set to 15 amps and the charger won't do 15 amps. No. The power supply keeps turning on and off. I think that power supply is gone south for the winter. Right, let's get rid of that so I'm not looking at myself in that really terrible lag. And open up that one. So what's going on, guys? What's happening in the YouTube land? Or the DIY Powerwall community, rather. What have we got? Chris Adams, Henry, what's up? Yo, you're live. What's up, Henry? I'm working on stuff at the moment. I was going to work on stuff. I've got stuff here. And the plan was, if this live feed went south, that's what I'd be doing. I shared. Awesome. Thank you very much. Rowan is here. Rowan, why aren't you a moderator? Rowan. Add moderator. There we go. Casero Studios, anyone selling a spot welder? I have a community spot welder here you can use if you need it. Mark Phillips, welcome, sir. How's it? How's it? Freaking awesome, as it turns out. Hello from Indonesia, Ahmed. Welcome for joining me. Public holiday, yeah, get in. Except I'm still working. My gate's open, my shed's open, my sign's open. So if I run away, you know, I usually make more money up there than I do sitting here talking to you guys. So I'll have to prioritise that. Probably just mute the mic. I need those cells. I got so many cells yesterday. I feel like my wife hit on me. That's how good it felt. I pull back my... Okay. The chat is absolutely smashing it, and I'm behind already. Where is it? There. Show hide. What is it? Why are you doing that typing shit? You'll just get booted, dude. Nice to see you on YouTube. It'll be much better seeing me do work, but this'll do. Just the other life. Hello, somewhere in Minnesota. I'm driving upstate New York. What are you talking and driving for? Please don't talk and drive or type and drive or listen to me and drive. That's very distracting. Unless you're a passenger. Henry working on Arduino relay Bluetooth circuitry stuff. That sounds awesome. What do we got? Poor Lani, KD, he's just typing. He looks like a 12-year-old's typing on the keyboard, or my 12-year-old. So we'll just put you in a timeout so we don't see all those. This message is held for review. Working on a Arduino. Where am I at? Roll call, Captain Earl. Please send me a link for the spot welder, community spot welder. If you are in Brisbane, Australia, you can come and borrow the community spot welder. However, you will have to be fast because I reached out to Tom last night from Alarm Hookup, Battery Hookup, for 150 feet. I don't know what that is in Australian units because that's what they sell it in. So 150 feet of his new nickel strip with the little fusey thing on it. So I can get, I actually have to do maths, 2,500 of these and try and build myself a new wall. You heard it here first, kids. What else? Send me the link for the weld. Gray's 2,500 milliamp. I think these are like 3,000. I think they're 3,000. I've got a heap of these tested at 3,000. But that is with the Opus. But they're NCR 18650s. NCR 18650s. And of course, my lighting is absolutely horrible. My eyes are horrible. I can hardly focus on the screen again. I really should do something about that sometime soon. My semi-trucks support voice typing and spelling on Bluetooth. Ah, there we go. That makes it a little bit safer, I guess. I got some of the with Tom. Oh, have you got some of the roughly 50 meters? Apparently, and don't quote me on this. Apparently, there's another version coming out as well. That'll be more suited to heavy loads rather than light loads. But I think I'm going to get the light load stuff because I genuinely don't think I need the heavier stuff in my wall idea. I'm planning starting filming today. It'll probably be about a month and a half of filming. I'm planning to do a really big build of 200p packs with this. Now, this is not going to be on Facebook or anything else yet. This is only for the guys that are watching the live feed. I'm going to try and do a 200p pack with my Powerwall mounts. So I'm going to probably max out the load and stuff. I might have to reinforce the bottom. I'm going to try and use the Batrium Watchmon 5 to balance it all. But because the Batrium Watchmon 5 really isn't designed for that sort of load, it'll be sort of a test jig, I guess you'd say. Sorry, Jaron, I haven't talked about this yet. But so yeah, I'm going to put the Watchmon 5 on 200 cells. But when I build this pack, I'm going to try and build it the best possible way I can, based on community interaction over the last couple of years. So I'm going to take all the good bits from everybody that's ever designed a Powerwall and try and incorporate it into my own. But also, whilst I'm at it, I'm going to try and hook up with somebody local. My electrician, my Sparky, isn't CEC approved. So I want to hook up with somebody, and if anybody is out there and wants to work with me on this project, I want to build an Australian standards Powerwall. I want to build this Powerwall so comprehensively, and it may take me a lot of months just due to finances, but I want to build this so comprehensively it meets or exceeds all current Australian standards for this sort of thing. So that will be a challenge in itself doing that. So let's see how I go. I dare say I'm going to have a lot of problems getting somebody that wants to work with me, and it will exponentially increase the cost of doing this project. I will probably have to buy a shipping container. I'm already looking into buying a shipping container, and I'm just going to see how that pans out. I got one quote yesterday or the day before, and it was $4,400 for a new 10-foot shipping container, not a cut down 20 footer. It's a new 10-footer, brand new, brand new. When I say brand new, it's a single trip. But that's for I think that's insane, because the return on investment is not going to be there. So I may yet investigate some sort of crowdfunding thing where I become a hooker and I sell my soul so I can get some money for a shipping container, or I can build a bunker. I could get some Besa bricks and simply build like a shelter out of Besa bricks. I dare say that would actually meet the requirements as long as it was away from the house and all that sort of stuff. I'll have to see. And if I did it that way, I'd actually like to put the electronics into a completely sealed, there goes the cell. I'd like to put the electronics into a separate building, so I had one containment area for all of the batteries, and then the cables running through, maybe via a bus bar embedded into the brick, through the wall, because I don't think I'd have cable through the wall. I'll probably have to have a bus bar of some description into another shed or whatever where the power generation was. So I'll have to see what happens with that. And that rant just completely put me behind and everything. If I miss any comments, make sure you just sort of ask again. Don't get cross. I'll try and get to everything. Did he manage to get you a good postage on nickel? Tom will look after me on the nickel shipping costs. And if anybody else wants to go in, I'll make it very public before I actually place the order to get the nickel over here. And if anybody else wants to order some at the same time, I'd be more than happy to talk to Tom on Australia's behalf, if necessary, and see how much stuff we can get brought over in one hit. But it has to be pre-sold. I simply don't have the money to finance that that process, but we can certainly coagulate it into one shipping idea and see what we can save. I think it's going to cost me about, and my back is so itchy, I think it's going to cost me around $400 for the cell holders, the clips and stuff. So $400 just for the fuses and stuff. And people complain about how much cost their battery management system is or whatever. It really does my head in. But anyway, this will be about 25 kilowatt hours, I reckon. How many cells could I get from you for 100 USD? Not one, Henry. Not one cell. I'm going to keep all these because I'm in a position where I keep having to sell cells in order to keep going with the project. And this time I'm fortunate that I'm not in that position, and I'm going to use every single one that I've got in one build. I did think about doing the motorbike build with these cells, but I don't think they're high drain enough, so I might have to look into that somewhere else. But that's in the process of heavily thinking about. Adam, how are you, dude? Seen some stuff, but not seen you in a while. Love this. How are you, dude? Seen some stuff, but not seen you in a while. Yeah, I haven't been around very much. I've been doing, family life. I tell you what, putting some effort into family life rather than YouTube pays off in spades. Ahmed, I want to ask Arduino what type for balance, because I really want to make solar panels. Sorry, dude, I can't even spell Arduino. I've got to Google it, so I can't help you on that one. Or more about the nickel strip, please, Pete. Jason, stay in contact. I've always been a bit wary of using some cells to make a power pack or just a power pack for electric drift trike, and scared of charging, as I know the damage they can do. Everything. I mean, you fill up your car and it can catch fire. So it's a managed. You just gotta go into it smart. Do lots of research and stuff like that, and then find out what you're happy with, and do it safe. Hey Tuber, great. If 24 volt, then Watch 1.7. I could do it 24 volt, Jaron. We could put the new Watch 1.7 in there and really give it a good run, but that would mean it would be huge. Watch 1.7, but I'm going to have 2 packs, Jaron. So if I run a Watch 1.7, I'd need 2 Watch 1.7s. But it'd be one heck of a test. Now you got me thinking. I wonder if the Watch 1.7 would balance faster than the Watch 1.5 because it's got half as many, or twice the size heatsink, I guess you'd say. Now I'm thinking too much. So I go and help you. I can fly to Australia. I was actually thinking today, because it is a public holiday in Australia, I was thinking about tonight having. I haven't put any thought into this, so don't make any plans. But this afternoon, I was thinking about having a little bit of an open day for an hour or two. I don't know what considerations I need in place for that to happen, as this is my place of work and I've got customer shit everywhere. So there's a security issue with that. And then my Powerwall is obviously 50 meters away. So people would want to go and see that and obviously take selfies or whatever else. I think that's actually a requirement. But if we could maybe do something like that this afternoon, I would strictly keep it to like an hour or two. But let me know if you think that's a good idea. Hookup has a different connection that he may be thinking of. I think so. So you'll be replacing your current packs? No, I am not replacing my current packs. An important thing for me is to leave that alone as much as humanly possible and only address safety issues. So if I got a really low pack or something like that due to the way I built it, but I think I've weeded out most of them. There's 2 lower packs down there, but they're not horrible. I want to leave that as much as possible until such a time that I have to touch it. So one of the common questions I get is, how long does this last? And let's face it, nobody knows how long this is going to last. People are investing a lot of money in this, and I certainly have, and a lot of the community has, but we still don't really know the ROI over time. I've got an awesome ROI because I've got a YouTube channel and that funds everything. But you know, if it's not a pure hobby for you, it has to pay for itself, right? So I'm 3 years in, 3 solid years, 100% full time. Well, not 100%, but full time using my Powerwall, and it still runs and it still goes well and all that sort of stuff. So on that alone, I'm really happy. But I still want to get to 5 years. If I got to 5 years, I'd be stoked. If I got to 7 years, I don't think I'll be in this house in 7 years' time. So, well, in 7 years from starting it. So in 5 years' time, I don't think I'll still be here because I plan on selling up and moving to a farm somewhere. Hopefully selling the computer business and moving on to something else. Mike, welcome, sir. D-Tech, hey, I'm Hey Pete, welcome, thank you very much. Crypto Miner, 150 AUD for a used one. I don't know what that's in reference to. But Crypto Miner, yesterday I started mining again for like 8 hours with this rig, which is Battery Hasher. And I had the, what do you call it, the DC to DC sitting here, and then I got all those cells, and I thought, well, I don't really want to process any cells using grid power, so all my cell processing is done via the DC to DC from 1 kilowatt of panels and those there, and that is obviously the Watch. That one's the Watch One 5, Watch One Plus, running that. 4,000 for a 10-foot. You can get a 40-foot container for that. I realised that, and actually I can get a 40-foot container for $1,900, 1,900 Australian dollars. It's because it's new. It's because it's a 10-foot and everybody wants them. And I think because the new regulations have come out, I reckon those 10-foot containers are going to go up even higher in price. Just because everybody wants the 10-footers to do battery storage. I definitely think that's going to be a thing. I think that price is going to be substantially overinflated sometime very soon. Just, you know, those Australian standards are going to be pretty tough to deal with. And my phone is ringing. Oh, my Tasmanian mate. Great idea for meeting the Australian standards as a commercial start. I don't want to do commercial. I never want to be commercial. I never want to sell this idea. Everything that I do, I give away. There is never going to be any selling or commercial building of packs for anybody. Mates, friends, sure, but not as a paid service, ever. Oi, look at that hazard of look at that hazard. It's not a hazard. Look, it's very neatly arranged, and all the nickel strip is very softly put down. Actually, I don't think it was softly put down, but this is a set. This is just a set. It's all fake. What do we got? HP Power, what are you thinking? You should take a tour of Tesla Power Packs. For what you're thinking, you should take a tour. I would love to take a tour of Tesla Power Packs. Can you imagine if Elon Musk rocked up, just walked up my driveway driving a Model X or something? I am absolutely sure the first thing I'd do is go, he's going to shut me down. And the second thing would be, I wouldn't know what to say to him. But it might happen. Finally got a live stream. Oh, yes. Oh, no, it is a... what do you got? Damn, what do we got? Don't forget customs and GST and the government cut. Oh, that's everything. You can't get through life without the government's cut, can you? Wow, that is so cool. Sounds like I need some nickel. Hello from the USA. Itchy skin. It's like the cold gets in Brisbane, middle of winter. It's kind of cold. Yeah, we've had snow within a couple hundred k's, but I was too busy working to go and see snow. I still haven't seen snow. I've got to go and see snow one day. Every year I promise to go down, but I think that'll be the last one that's close. I guess I could drive down to New South Wales, but that's like a 12 or 1300 kilometre one way to snow. It's a good snow. I guess I could visit Batrium and a whole heap of members on the way down and on the way back, I guess. Yes, please, nickel. Right. Okay, so I've got to message that. If anybody wants nickel, admin@DIYPOWRWALS.com. If anybody wants nickel, I am not going to play the middleman for anything. You've got to organise it with Tom. You've got to pay for it yourself with Tom. He's my affiliate link, so I make some money. And then we'll get the shipping all co-regulated. We'll get it here. And then we'll try and work out how to get it around Australia or wherever. That's my email address if you need it. And I completely lost where I was up to. Elon, Nickel, great to love a live chat. Whereabouts is everyone from? That's always a good thing to know. Can you ship to Saudi Arabia? If so, how much does it cost? What do you want to Saudi Arabia, brother? I certainly can't ship to Saudi Arabia, but what's his name? Tom Amarin might be able to. There is a new Raspberry Pi 4th gen. That still doesn't help me because I still can't do Raspberry Pi. Hello from Mexico. Any update on the hot water system? I can officially say the hot water system failed. Today, that is my primary goal, is to do a video on the hot water system. I've ordered a new, and if I can open it up, a new relay. Now, a new relay. Problem with having my camera off to the side of my off to the side. The old relay was on a heatsink, and if anybody saw the last video at the end, it was running, and it was running perfectly. And I just happened to be out on site, and this thing fused open. Is that the right terminology? I'm not sure, but it fused, so it was always on and didn't turn off, and had no way of turning off, so it would have just flattened the batteries and killed everything. So about a month ago I placed an order for some Tesla BMS module things so I can run the Watchman 5 on Tesla packs, because a kind community member lent me some Tesla modules. But I ordered a contactor from them, and it still hasn't arrived, and I'm really annoyed because this has been off for a month now. Of course, it took me 3 months to do that last video, but I have ordered, I have got the new relay. I don't know if it was a wiring issue on my behalf or the fact that it was switching 25 amps and that's 40 amps and it just welded shut or whatever, or open. I'm not sure how that works, but this did actually melt off there. So it got hot enough so it fell off. And then once it fell off, this thing just cooked. That in itself might have been the problem, just falling off there. So next time, if I try this again, but these are $40 each. These are really good relays, but they're 40 bucks each, 50 bucks each. I might actually zip tie it on so it can't move off there, and gives it an extra layer of safety, because I don't think that glue is, you know, I would have honestly thought the glue would have been all the way over the back, but you know, it's not really the entire metal piece, but who knows. Yeah, that's nice and clean. The new one. Obviously you can't see in there, but anyways, moving on. So the hot water is currently not working. Mohammed is not selling anything. Apologies for bad typing. Yes, spending time with your family is always the best. Like anything I am worried about is the right cell to use and best BMS. Best BMS is easy for me. It's Batrium, but like anything, there's a caveat to that. One, I'm a Batrium fanboy, right? I get to test a lot of products. I have a lot of extra information available to me that helps me understand it a lot better, and I try and pass all that information on to you guys. But also, I haven't tested anything else other than the Chinese crap. So I've been through $10 units, $20 units, $50 units, $100 units, $150 units, $200 Chinese units, and they all sucked. They gave me a false sense of security that wasn't acceptable, and they blew up for, you know, maybe it was my fault, maybe it was their fault. It's a grey line. But, you know, considering I blew up my Watch One 4, still haven't replaced that yet. Yeah, I just don't. I've only used the one Batrium, and it does everything I can do, everything I need. It turns on and off fans. It was yesterday controlling my rig. I've got it working almost well with the fire alarm. So that fire alarm has got the relay base on it, and that is, once the fire alarm goes off, it triggers the shunt trip. I still need to work out the logistics and understand how that happens, and I'm still playing with that. The problem is setting the fire alarm off all the time is annoying my neighbours. So I've ordered a buttony switchy thing because I just don't have any switches. I was going to use a computer switch, but that's not a on and then off. It's a on off as soon as you let it go. So, hello from Canada. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the stream. Everyone, also good luck with future projects. Thank you very much, Adam, for tuning in, and you've probably already gone. Alternatively, Watchmon 5 and a Minimon do a twin parallel string. Ooh, I could do that. Is the Watchmon 7 coming out with a Minimon? And it might be good to know what a Minimon was publicly, I guess. If you're having an open day, you need beer. That is it. I don't drink, so I don't have beer. However, you're more than welcome to have a beer when you get home after visiting. We've talked about me and drinking. I'm the guy that does a nudie run up the street when I'm drunk. That's not a good thing, guys. Hey Pete, and all just popped in to say hello, welcome. You can't have peeps over without refreshments. Seems to be a common theme. So will the new Powerwall power your house or something else? So at the moment, it's really early. I've got batteries. That changed yesterday. Someone walked up my driveway or drove up my driveway, opened the back of their van and said, "Hey Pete, do you want these?" And I went, "Holy, yes please." So I've been formulating a plan on what I can do with these cells that, one, benefits the community, two, benefits myself, and three, is a pretty cool project. And the only thing I could come up with is go bigger. Go bigger, go neater, go tidier, go safer. He says go safer with this pile of things. I'm going to do this better. I'm going to do this part even better as well. As soon as I get off camera, I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to film it. I'm going to make it into a YouTube video. That's the only thing I could really think of. But I don't. Has anybody seen my shed? I don't think there's anything I can't show you. Okay, so this is the YouTube side of things. But around here, I've got another guy that works over there. There's a seat over there. He does mobile phone repairs and stuff like that. Back in that corner is just, I can't even point to it. Back there. Anyway, back in that corner, right behind where my head is now, is just storage, and it's just junk. But that is the entrance over there, and that is like, the white balance is friggin' horrendous. So this is where I work every day. And now I've forgotten what this was actually all leading to. Will it power my house? Okay, so my power board is there, into the shed. But the shed isn't wired properly, and never has been wired properly since I moved in. It is just effectively a bunch of, probably 10 extension cords, all running around the shed in concentric circles or whatever, powering everything. So what I was thinking about doing was having some modifications done to my workshop before summer, which would make it a lot better in here if I could air condition it. And then I was thinking about running the Powerwall for certain circuits. Now, I can't run customers' computers from a Powerwall, right? I just can't do it. It's got to be from clean, guaranteed energy from the grid. That's no surges, no capacitors popping in a MPP solar inverter, and all that sort of stuff. So I have to be considerate to that. It would be really good if I could get a limited grid tie inverter or something like that, so I didn't feed out to the grid and break the Australian regulations where you can only feed a certain amount onto the grid. But maybe have certain circuits in here, maybe a small air conditioner, all my lights. I'd probably put some ceiling fans in and stuff like that. So I want it to work. I don't want it just to sit on the wall and be a YouTube project. I want it to actually have a value. So the cells are actually recycled. So, it might, I don't know if I change everything around and this works really well, I may have to meet the Australian standards for my new build, I may actually have to pull out all the old stuff, which will kill me. And I will, if that is the case, I'm not sure what I'd do because I really want it running. But there you go. That's sort of an extended overview of everything. No, Elon sent, that sounds like a baby. Hey Pete, what have we got? Jag. Hey Pete, question for you. I'm seeing a lot of conflicting fuse wires for the positive side. I brought some Remington and did some tests. Yeah, we've all done tests. You should actually test every you got to test every batch of wire you get, because manufacturers sometimes, and let's face it, we all know what we're talking about here, that you ask for 30 AWG and you get 6. You've got to test every single lot you get before you actually do anything with it. Never trust anything that anybody says about where it links to, because the seller could sell something different. Getting 20 amps draw on the 30 gauge without it blowing. What gives? Clearly it's probably not 30 gauge, or it's not pure steel or pure nickel or pure copper. There's too many variables for me to answer that, Jag. Can I pre-order some of that nickel now as a part of your order? Sure. Go to Tom's website and order some. If you have a look on the announcements on the Facebook page, I have got an affiliated link there, or just tell him that I sent you. How much should I be paying for second-hand panels per watt? I have no idea, dude, but I wouldn't be paying more than 20 to 30 bucks for say a 200 watt. So, Ellen in a Roadster. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Left-hand drive, right-hand drive Roadster too. That would be good. My phone keeps going off. What's the deal? Greetings from the southeast coast of the USA. First live stream I've caught. Jason, welcome to the live stream and thank you very much for tuning in. Just curious if your Powerwall voids your house insurance. Okay, so that's a very important question, Denford. It will absolutely, completely, 100% void your house insurance unless you work with them. And I worked with mine for 4 months in order to get mine passed. And I've also said this many times before. That's one reason why I haven't really changed my Powerwall, because as soon as I change it, everything that I had approved disappears. So, and even, let's face it, even though it is approved, they'll find something else and it won't be approved, and so that's a risk I knowingly take, and I'm not happy with it. Not really. If you want to see good snow, come visit. Yes, I will one day, Mike. I absolutely guarantee you. I'm so far behind, and for that I apologise. Road trip, Pete, that would be cool. It would be cool. If you're inside your freezer, it's fair. The length of fuse wire will affect it. Otherwise, also check the average. Joe videos of fuse testing. That's a really good video to watch. We had hail Saturday the size of ping pong balls. Did you get stuff there? No. We haven't even got rain here in Brisbane, Australia. It is dry. It's as dry as my mouth is right now, right? Canada here, 07 Pete. Oh, hey Andy, welcome. Fabio, welcome. You can just road trip to my place and get the discharge. That will be happening today, Rowan. I hope. Well, it might not be today, but I've definitely got to get some cells shucked first. The plan was I was going to be shucking cells while I was talking to you guys, but shucking cells and reading doesn't work too well. That mess looks great. I've not long liberated 18 cells from 3 laptop batteries. Only 2 cells were not given a volt, but they've recovered slowly. One is, and the other is 0.2 volt. That's good. Just make sure you test everything and don't reset the SIDs. Set up as Joe's, except with a spot welder fuse wire instead of solder. Hey, fuse closes always connected. 18 good voltage cells, a 3.6 from another 3 laptop batteries. That's not good. That's not bad at all. Interestingly, I pulled a heap of these out, and they're all like, I think I tested a heap of these, and they're like in between 1 and 2 volt for all of them. So I dare say these batteries have been sitting around for a long time. So the plan really will be, when I build this battery, is I'm going to run over and borrow Rowan's Powerwall charge discharger. He's got 4S units, which gives it a little bit more accurate but slower than the Opus units. And I'll set up a big charge discharge station here, so I can just I'll probably be able to do 150 cells in a 24-hour period if I really push. And that should mean in a few weeks I should get 2,500 cells done, which would be good. And then I'm going to charge every cell back up to 4.2 volts, and then let them sit for a month or so, probably until the nickel gets here. And then do a charge test on all of them, make sure they haven't self-discharged, and then put them all together. I'm going to heavily detail that. I don't know if I'm going to do a bunch of little videos and release them one day after the other in like 3 months' time, or I just do one video a week and do the progress of each one. But I want to try and up the quality of my videos on YouTube to try and earn a little bit more from it. Less effort, more money. Damn, I was hoping for the hot water solar would work. It definitely does work. It just needs to work better, more reliably, and more consistently. With spot welder fuse instead of solder. Hey, fused closed is always connected. There we go. Yes. 18 good battery cells. Canada, welcome. 1860 batteries. What would you consider high resistance chuck out? And again, I've said this a lot of times before. I've never checked the resistance of a cell ever. That's actually a very good point, because I do have a resistance checker here. I did buy one. No, actually, I think this was a product for review. And I haven't actually done a review yet. Oh, the battery works. But I do have a little resistance tester. I'll leave a link in the description below about that. It's an SM8124A. If you'd like to buy one, you can always hit me up for an affiliate link or do it without. It's all up to you. But it's got a couple of really good, what do you call it, connectors on the end. Maybe, just maybe, I can go through and part of this build is do resistance check on everything. I think that'd be a good idea. Let's face it, I've got the stuff to do it. I may as well. That's one way I can do it better again. Use a metal hose clamp versus zip tie. Metal hose clamp, I like the idea of that. Would a fan solid state read have helped? I'm not sure. This is the first time I've ever used Relays DTEC, so I don't know how they react. I wasn't there for 2 hours. I was walking around taking video of windmills at the time. I actually had a really bad day. I had a fight with a wife that morning, and I drove out there and I was meant to do a video. And then I ended up walking around for 2 hours. I walked many kilometres through the bush and through dried up creek banks and exploring the 400 acres, and I probably only got through about 150 acres because it's all very heavily bushland up there, and there's just koalas and kangaroos and goannas and like wild bees, wild European bees everywhere, and it's a really nice place of the world, and a really nice part of the world. And that's, I aspire to moving out to that type of place, I guess you'd say. Zip tie might melt. Good call. Over 3,000 cells in my Powerwall now. Owe it to you and Average Joe. Thanks, man. Awesome. Thank you very much, Dylan. I ended up getting the glass fuses he showed and tested. Glass fuses would drive me nuts. They're messy. The old fake TV is gone. It has gone, and that's actually what, for the purpose of this video, that is hooked up to that computer, but I don't know why my video card's not configured or whatever. It's not working. I've got the HDMI port plugged in, but for some reason, and now I can't plug it back in again. Isn't that genius of me? Come on. It's like a bloody USB stick. You unplug the damn thing, it'll never go back in. There you go. So the HDMI port is plugged in, and it gets a signal and the screen turns on, but it's not doing the second screen. There you go. And that's basically just for Batrium and, well, the plan was for Batrium and then like a mining rig or something up there, so I can just keep an eye on everything all the time. I like my data, and that's also like a computer that I can do editing and stuff on. I've got all the editing software on there as well, so if I'm doing like a time lapse or something and I don't want to do my work computer is here. So I got screen, I got that screen, and that screen is my work computer. And then that one is just like a secondary computer that I do stuff with. So I can render, I can export and render on that computer rather than using my main one. And that's got a RX 580 8 gig in it as well. All my computers, because from my old mining rig, so I just used all the cards from them. Batrium is almost plug and play from configuring it. Not even close, I don't think. I think it's very much, Batrium is not plug and play, no. Beer and batteries. It's okay to be you're 10 minutes behind chat. Thank you very much for letting me know that. It's good to use Repacker. Do you use it? I have used Repacker, yes. I use Repacker for this build. I think it's my second highest video. And of course, do you think I can find, oh, there it is there. I use Repacker for this build, and I can absolutely recommend it. It takes a long time to do Repacker, but this battery from flat, I can go from 16.6 volts or whatever the top of charge is, and then take that all the way down to 2.5 volts, and the cells are like less than 0.1 volts spread between them. It's fantastic. And this battery I use I use a lot. It powers my iCharger. If any of my packs are low, I use it on that. If I go out on site and I need it. This even went on a boat the other week and powered the trolling motor, not mine. It's run a fridge for a couple of days. It gets out there and used. If anybody needs it, you are welcome to come and borrow it. As long as you promise to look after it and pay for it if you break it. And that's the same as the 3D printer. That's out with a community member at the moment as well, and the community spot welder and any of the crimping tools and stuff I've got. You're all welcome to them if you come over here, shake my hand, take a selfie, and then borrow it and bring it back when you're finished. We can hold you back from the nudie run. You want to hold me back from the nudie run because you want to see me naked for longer, or you just don't want to see my bits swing? It's a very, very, very valid question. Not abused for you, Pete. Everyone else. Caught another live feed. Confused cob. I like that name. Lots of places for deadly spiders to hide in your shop. There's deadly spiders. No, that's not a problem. I think I'm actually like 20 pages behind these guys. I'd say show us the horde pile, but it looks like it's everywhere. The horde pile is very well organized, right? Let's see if I can do a horde pile. So the horde pile is, there is not much to the horde pile. Where the horde pile, that is a lithium battery. So that is for, isn't that funny? He's got the lithium battery for the community spot welder in there, and then he's got all those cells just all over the bench. Nickel, if anybody needs nickel, I got a kilo of nickel from the States, so you can buy a little bit of nickel off me if you need it, because I don't think I'll be needing that anymore. And I've still got another roll. So the horde is all of those batteries, and that's a really bad balance, white balance, but there's a whole heap of batteries I've tested in there. And there's the community spot welder that I just dropped. Excellent, nobody saw that. There's this big box down here. So that's full, so that's sort of that deep. There is 300 batteries in there, or something like that. And then this box that you can't see is full of batteries as well. So that's probably another 200 or something in there. I don't know. It's like 550, I think, in total in those two boxes, which should be more than enough to do what I need. And I just created a big mess and practically broke my camera. But that is the horde. Sounds like, what else we got? How's Jehu? Did you sort out your beef? I think we did, but Jehu just doesn't talk to me anymore, so there's nothing I can do about that. I've reached out to him a couple of times and nothing, so yeah, move on. So Pete needs a Sparky. I've got a Sparky. I need a CEC Sparky. I've just had the aircon. Just have the aircon powered. Yeah, that would be good. That way I can just leave it on and don't have to worry. It sounds like you'd be creating a usable real-world demonstration of Average Joe's safety video. I think I want to take it 12 steps further than that, because the Australian standards have got nothing on Average Joe's video. It really brings it up to, some would say, insane levels of safety. But look, if insane levels of safety works for the community, and I think it does, if I should be honest, let's go there. Let's do it. Let's embrace change, the challenge, and everything else that comes along with it. Jehu has a few grid tie inverters. Cheap, make great. Dan Floss. The problem is with the grid tie, the cheap grid tie inverters is they're not legal, and I'm fairly sure that load shifting in California is really, really frowned upon. But I'm not sure there. Hi Pete, your workplace looks quite bigger since I come to pick up some 18650 cells. Good work. It's not that much bigger. It's probably cleaner. I've tried to keep it cleaner than I used to. Do you recommend buy Batrium with shunt sensor? Absolutely. The shunt gives you lots of extra information, and it gives you battery voltage and how much you've used and in and out, and then it can also trigger some stuff as well with the shunt trip. So absolutely, I wouldn't even use a Batrium without the shunt trip, without the shunt mod. In fact, that's my second shunt mod, because I set this up without the shunt mod and I went, this is useless. So I grabbed the shunt mod as well. Hey Pete, your workplace. So what do we got? Hello from Colombia. Welcome, sir. I'm not even gonna Jamil the Jesus Fleur. I'm not even gonna try. But welcome, brother. Batrium can be used with or without the shunt sensor, but the shunt plays a big part in what the Batrium can do. So I would definitely recommend. Jesus, you answered that better than I did, Mike. And you did it quicker. For used solar, I'd say around 60 cents per watt or lower is good. Just get some 245 watt panels for 33 cents per watt. That is pretty smoking good, I reckon. What do you think about the new BMS Chinese one? It's red in color place. It's AliExpress web, and the one is, and the balancer. What kit? 1 amp. Okay, so what do you think about the new Chinese one? I haven't seen it. I still wouldn't use it. Because they are not BMSs, they are BSs. Bullshit. Anyways, there's not much management to them, and I may have an exaggerated view of what that management is, but I'm so used to a good quality product that's fit for purpose that I've used so many of those cheap BMSs. I've used so many of them and blew them up in the early days, and a lot of them didn't even make it to video. But I reckon it exceeds 10 of those cheaper BMSs, and they give you a false sense of security that doesn't help the community. It's better than not having one. Don't get me wrong. If your budget only extends or your Powerwall is very, very small, it is better than nothing. And I would recommend you get that rather than nothing. But like anything, don't trust your safety equipment. You've still got to. You can't put a fire extinguisher on the wall and just leave it for 10 years and expect it to work after 10 years. You've got to make sure it's still got gas and hasn't leaked out and all that sort of stuff. So it's the same thing with a Powerwall. You can't just trust your safety systems. You've got to be there for it. You've got to be present and know what it's doing at all times. Be in control, I guess you would say. Spot welder on negative side and fuse on positive side are good, or spot weld both are, fuse on both sides. There's a lot of people that fuse on both sides. However, I don't fuse on both sides because it takes longer. And in the early days, and this is just what I did, in the early days, I would pick my battery up and move it around a lot for videos and stuff like that. And having fuses on both sides gave me another point of failure. And I found on both sides, I kept just picking it up, or picking the battery up wrong during a video, or just trying to rush for doing videos, and I'd break fuses. So I only went one side, but a lot of people are saying both sides works. I think you've got to take into consideration what you're powering, your load, what resistance are in those little wires, and all that sort of stuff. What about discharge device when you can use the energy to heat your water so you can reuse your energy efficiently? I've already done that with the off-grid setup. Have a look at the last video that I did with lead to lithium. Can still use my Outback FlexMac 80 solar charge controller switching from my lead acid 24 volt battery backup to 18650 setup. Yes, you can, as long as you get the settings and change them for lithium, not lead, and turn off any of the float charging. What other charge controller would you recommend? I use a 3000 watt inverter. I like the PCM60X. That is just my choice from MPP Solar. If you want them cheaper, go directly to, what is it, Peggy at mppsolar.com. I like the product so much, I really don't care about getting that affiliate click link and making an extra $10. Just go straight to Peggy, save yourself that $10 and put the money in their pocket and away you go. She sends it out quicker. It can also, in some cases, avoid the 10% GST if you're in Australia, rather than using eBay and the like. Please think about a DIY electric vehicle. I think about a DIY electric vehicle all the time, and these cells, I thought, oh, DIY electric vehicle, and then amp draw and practicality. There's lots of questions and not very many answers that I've come up with for an electric vehicle. I think for cost, I think I'll just buy a Nissan Leaf or something like that. And I think with the Tesla Model 3 that's come out in Australia, there's Model 3s around Australia now in stores everywhere. I think that'll drive the price of the Nissan Leafs and stuff down a little bit further and put them probably where they should be for second-hand lease, not where they're up as high as they are, which is a little bit inflated on price. Jeff, you'd probably need to be able to configure its voltage range. 7S lithium pack would be close. It still needs configuring. I understand solid state relay is heavily for the transistor setup. I wouldn't even comment on that because I really don't know. Sorry, MOSFETs for solid state relay. Any PIP inverter updates? I like the way you can use GenStart for dump load. You can use GenStart for dump load? How do you do that? I haven't tried that. I haven't even used the GenStart. I've seen it there. I haven't done it yet. Must read faster, must read faster. I can't read faster and not talk shit. I just wouldn't be able to talk shit there. I made a SSR with a tiny and 2 MOSFETs. I need reliable, Chris. I don't know if that is reliable. I say that trying to talk faster or read faster. I need reliability. Reliability is absolutely key. That's why I bought like a 400 amp contactor out of a Tesla, I think it came out of. It just hasn't arrived yet. I'm really pissed off that I ordered it a month ago and it's still not here. And paid for it a month ago. I actually got a shipping notice a week ago, so it took 3 weeks to ship it. And I don't think that's very smart. Please stop asking questions. You should give them a chance from others. Yeah, questions are questions. Hi, Pete. Finally caught one. Chris Chester, welcome, sir. I'm not commenting or asking any questions anymore, any than anybody else. I'm not even looking at the person asking the question, so don't worry about it, dude. Ask away. YouTube rewards interaction, so the more questions and stuff are there, the better it gets for me. So that I like that. Do you know what I see from Colombia? What? Do you know what I see from you, Colombia? Comrade. Sorry, dude. I have no idea. This message is helpful. Dylan C. Jesus just in to sell the PCB. He refused. Oh, Jehu's. Show. Jehu's just in it to sell the PCB. He refuses to answer any questions, and the shit show to get my revolts I bought off of him. What a pain. I'm not going to comment on Jehu's PCBs too much. It is common knowledge. I don't think they are, and this is not just Jehu's. I think this is across the board. I think they're a false economy. But look, it is a video, and Jehu's an extremely talented storyteller. So I can't take that away from him. I know how hard he works. I don't care what's going down between us. I'm not that guy. I still respect him and still watch all of his videos. And I think the guy's got talent and he'll go a long way. And he doesn't care who he pisses off on that journey either. He's at a point in his career where he can piss anybody he likes off because there'll be 10 more people standing in line to cheer him on. So what do you mean load shifting? Load shifting, I think, is what Jehu's doing, where he's charging the batteries from a lower tariff and then shifting that load to a higher tariff area. They were not NATO spec inverters that Jehu was selling. They were NATO. Oh no, they were from what do you call it? Those inverters. Yeah, I know what you mean. From Tom Amarin. He's got a warehouse full of them. Blow anything up recently? No, I haven't, which is kind of good. I've got something that's blown up, but it wasn't me that did it, I don't think. The smart meters will report back to any power going back, and that's one way they'll catch you. Absolutely. And I do have a smart meter. Grid tie is legal in all US states. Okay, but okay, fair enough. I'm not. It's not the grid tie that I was worried about. It's the load shifting that I was concerned that had legal problems. I know it is absolutely illegal in Australia. Or any of those devices, those cheaper grid tie inverters, the plug-in ones are a big no-no in Australia. Wouldn't it have been easier and cheaper to buy a Tesla wall? Yes, but what sort of YouTube channel could I have built from that? Let's face it, I mean, my YouTube channel, before I did my Powerwall stuff, had, I think, 100 subscribers when I first started. When I first done my very first video saying, hey, look, I've got 12 laptop batteries, I'm going to try and run my house with them. And this was at a time where Jehu was trying to run his van. He never finished that project. What's the go there, buddy? But Jehu had said nothing about powering a home or anything else. He was just trying to supplement his collab batteries that he had in his van to get a little bit more range. And again, it was a story he told. And then I took that and I went, I wonder if I can run my house with it. And then I run it from there. Of course, a few months later, then Jehu did his $300 Powerwall. He got death threats and stuff like that. Geez, I learned a lot from Jehu. I really did. And I still do. Best name brand laptop battery packs for when recycling packs, Dell. Okay, so these are awesome. These cells are awesome because they almost always have these NCR 18650s, and they are from an Asus laptop, I think. I can't even see that. My eyes will not focus on that. That's AL. I can't even focus on that. But they're really good ones. They're from Asus laptops. Anything name brand, Asus, Dell are awesome usually. Even your higher end, the more the laptop costs, usually the better the battery. You'd hope. Definitely not cheaper, but easier for sure. Oh well, yeah, Tesla pack would be easier, but I could never afford to buy a Tesla battery, so it's kind of a moot point, really. How's the hot water system going? I think I already done that one, Chris, a little bit earlier. I have luck with Dell packs, lots of Samsung, Panasonic cells in them, absolutely. They're not BMSs, they're BSs. Well, they're just missing the management. Tesla Powerwalls, 6K, I think they're like 15 in Australia. It's more expensive than DIY. It's definitely more expensive, but I bet you the Tesla Powerwall lasts a shitload longer than my Powerwall will. So that's always a consideration. And it's a shitty quicker to get insurance done. It's a good night from me, 1 a.m. in the UK. Good luck with the new project. Looking forward to future updates. By all, Mark Andrews, thank you very much for tuning in, and good night. I use a cheap Chinese BMS for my solar generator, and they work good. Only pull amps. Well, it sounds like that your BMS is fit for what you do, which is the key to any build. You don't have a 20-ton truck to tow around a 6x4 box trailer. You can do it in Suzuki Swift. Thanks for the tip. I'm just getting into it. Buy them by the pound and get back to and get to pick which one's nice to know from experience. Experience is really good with this sort of thing, and you do learn fast. Yeah, I've seen a few of them red BMSs on eBay claiming to be dual port. They are too cheap to be proper. They might work. I haven't used the red ones, and as long as they're fit for purposes, as long as you're happy with them, and it's better than nothing, go hard. I would happily buy one and test one just for the affiliate clicks. No, I wouldn't. No, I just couldn't do it to myself again. In fact, that battery doesn't even have a BMS on it because every time I charge and discharge it, I use the balance leads to charge it up. So I used, what is it, the iCharge X6 or the ISDT, which are still both solid units, and I love them both. You can also borrow them if you want. I'm fading fast. For EV, I think it would be a lot better to buy packs from another EV. I think so too. I don't, although I almost have to do my own batteries for an EV. I think people would expect that if I. I'm looking for a couple of 7S BMSs. Anyone hook me up would be appreciated. My SSR isn't for high loads though. Okay, there we go. And my high loads are 25 amps constantly. Ellen should make the Tesla here in Australia. We've got plenty of lithium. I don't know about all the other minerals and products that they would need. Aluminium for sure, if we had an aluminium smelting plant in Australia. Do we have one? I'm not sure. I think they all goes off to the China or something. Sell the bauxite to China and they bring it back again as aluminium. It'd be better if we did it here, but I don't think Australians work for that sort of price range. See off-grid Steve, you can get a gen start and stop voltage relay and you're all set. Awesome, smash the thumbs up. There's 59 of us here and only 19 likes. Awesome, thanks for getting everybody to do that. Design the cell holders PCB. Jay Kenny designed the cell holders PCBs for Jehu, and he said they were never designed for a full Powerwall. They're certainly not cost effective for one. No, they're not. They don't scale up very well. I think they're well designed, but they don't scale. I just made it 23 likes. Excellent. Thank you very much for your effort, Born. Mate, it's all numbers. Oh, I keep scrolling and it goes like down 5 pages. Powerwall 2 costs $713 per kilowatt hour. Mine is $530 per kilowatt hour. That's a good metric. How long will the Powerwall 2 last as opposed to yours, Chris Adams? That is another good metric. 12 Wing Productions has 4 or 6 Powerwalls. That'd just look good. I don't care about anything else. That would look good. I use Twisted bus bars, Dylan. Acer laptops, same as I got. They are very good as well. Acer. There we go. Sorry. And Asus, I have found are best and sweet. They're all good. I found that Toshiba usually Sanyo heater cells. I found that as well. I must admit, Wayne, I've had less luck with the Toshiba cells. Absolutely. Hi, Peter. Now, as soon as I've caught up with the chat, I will be going. So if you want me to hang around, keep the chat hammering. 13K installed. There we go. I'm waiting on more nickel strip for my second 24 volt pack. Carla 500 milliamp hour cells. The first pack I built was tested with a few loads for a few days on 24 volt solid charge controller. Awesome. Don't buy from China. It's not from China. Everything comes from China. You can buy from China. Just the quality sellers from China. I think that's a generalization even I use far too much. It's Chinese. But let's face it, they produce a metric shit ton of good stuff. Look at all my monitors and my computers and my Logitech web camera, and probably the cells are all manufactured in China, I would hazard to guess. I've given 15 new old stock Fujitsu laptop batteries, all red Sanyos, all testing good, but big issue is they are 8 years old Sanyo cells, even if factory sealed. Any testing of those thermal switches yet? Wayne? Yes, I've put them in the container over there. They were designed to be another redundant on the hot water system. I was going to put them in line with one of them, but of course, I just don't think these have the load. Maybe I could hook up a whole heap of them together. I'm not sure how that works. I'm certainly not willing to test it on something that could potentially just heat water until it explodes a hot water system. A few load tests from an inverter. Running a laptop and lights could do that. Me sets Pete's caffeine drip. I think I need it to talk at this rate for too much longer. Ever considered the Dacus BMS? Absolutely. The lead times suck though. And at the time I couldn't afford it. That would be probably second to the Baitrum, I think, the Electra Dacus. Why do I think that I've just missed a whole heap? And if I have, just type it again. Anybody else use the Lido Carla 2 500? I'm finding it inconsistent with its readouts. Anyone check its accuracy? No, I've never used it, although there's heaps of people out there in the community that have used it, and certainly a lot of the big testers do it. Tom has a room full of Lido Carlas, I think they're called, and they work really well for him. Maybe we could reach out to Tom to do a video on that, and just how many failures has he had across all of them, and either entire units or the single cells themselves. I don't like them because they only discharge at 0.5 amp rather than 1 amp. Takes twice as long. So I've got two. I've only got 2 of my Opuses left. One was bought last year, and the other one is 4 years old, and it's still going. I've had 6 Opuses in total, so I've had 4 fail on me. 5 fail on me because one's a replacement. But they failed because of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 years or more. That's why they failed. They didn't fail because they were a poor quality unit, or made in China for that fact. Vipin, 5:30 a.m. Welcome, and thank you very much for tuning in, Vipin. Chris Adams, oh yeah, the SPDT SSR I designed can do 25 amps, no problem. That would be interesting to have a look at that. It certainly might be a good test putting it onto a hot water system, but I can't do it out there because it's got to be reliable. Aluminium smelter near Newcastle, New South Wales. There we go. I didn't realise that. Alcoa, I think, founded it years ago. There we go. Learned something new. Actually, when I was a young, that information actually come from, I used to work, my old man used to work in Weipa. I think I must have been 5 to 10 years old, maybe. So it was a long time ago. So that information might be out of date. I don't buy nickel strip from China, mate. It ain't pure. I can almost guarantee you that. I got a lot of nickel, but it's nickel plated. It's not pure nickel. But I bought that knowing that. I'm going to buy local copper and nickel plate it. That's a good idea. Do something, I don't know. I'm 2 weeks into the venture at about 300 cells for now. Dan, that sounds like a good start after 2 weeks, buddy. I'm a full-time firefighter here in California. Had a newer Chevy Volt on fire the other night. Took over 2 hours to put it out. The fire causer using foam and tons of water. That's really interesting. I've got a very good friend and a moderator here that is a firefighter in Brisbane, Australia. And they recommend lithium fires, you just dump water on them and you don't stop. And people said to me here, why do you have a bucket of water? And clearly I don't have a bucket of water underneath me right now. Why do you put the cells that are overheating and stuff like that in water? And it's for that reason, because the fire departments dump water on them for hours. And if you've got one cell in 10 litres of water, that's enough to quell any thermal reaction and to bring the temperature down. If you had 50 cells in there, of course, it would just boil to death. But certainly one cell would be a lot safer in a bucket of water than landing on my carpet. Dan, nice one. There was a story about a Tesla being crashed into recently. Did you see that? I saw it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Today is literally my first day I have had downtime, and I really should be working, but I'm just here instead because I really enjoy having a chat to you guys. It is certainly good fun. So what have we got? Oh, we got 50 people in the room. Get in. And all these people, those, you realise those nickel Oh yes, I know they're not. I know they're not pure nickel from Tom. He has said that publicly heaps of times, Mike. He has said that several times on several occasions that they are not nickel, pure nickel from Tom. I'm paying 44 cents a name brand sells on average. That's pretty cheap, 44 cents. I had somebody reach out and offer me, untested, for all of these cells last night, $5 per battery. $5 per battery. And I said no, because I really need them and I'm finding them hard to get myself. That's like 80, 90 cents per cell. That's insane, untested. The battery case was very well intact at the end of the car was destroyed. Wifey is visiting. Now, I am either going to talk to wife on camera or off camera. Where are you off to, love?
Going up and getting my nails done.
Oh, yeah. This should be a question you ask the community. Hold your nails in front of the camera there and ask everybody, does she need her nails done? There is some regrowth happening there.
Some pretty bad lifting.
So if they say you can get your nails done, you can get your nails done.
I don't give a fuck what they say.
You can't swear on camera, love. YouTube picks it up. Yes.
I'm going to get my nails done.
Get your nails done.
I'm going to get some coffee and Coke.
Coffee and Coke.
Yep.
Tim Tams in all in chorus. Fill up the live feed with Tim Tams and M&M peanuts. If we get 20 people that say M&M peanuts, I get M&M peanuts.
Can I grab some money?
And she wants money.
I can swipe the bank card.
Oh, jeez. It's nice to know what I'm good for.
Just messaged Angela. I've got a rash all over my body.
You got a rash all over your body. I'm going to replace you with a new model. Oh my god, dear.
It's fucking, yeah.
That's all the money I have.
All down here, all down my legs. I'm sorry, depends on that. Just woke up before this shit and what the fuck I'm done.
My wife's sick again. My god. I'm going to replace her. It is a call out. You cook and she cooks and cleans good, right? And she's a good wife. She's a great wife. But she's fucked up, right? She's always sick.
I'm a bit sick this year.
She was in hospital with this messed up face. It looked like I'd punched her several times. And
That's why.
I'm going to show you a picture of her face in a minute. And she's got all these diseases. She's like, now she's got Ross River fever. She's got all these rashes.
Hey, I'm still good.
I don't
I'm
think you
still
are.
usable.
Oh, I can definitely use you. You just have to be present. That's fine. You don't. Oh shit! You don't show them that.
No.
I just got some booby pics. Show them a picture of your face all messed up.
Okay.
And the chat. Sorry, this whole Powerwall chat has just gone south. Oh Jesus! Did you show me that picture?
That was when they drained it.
Oh Jesus! Look at all the M&M peanuts. There's just pages of M&M peanuts. That's when they drained it.
Oh, there's that one.
Oh.
You see that one?
This is when she was in hospital for...
Since Sunday, about 4 days.
About 4 days. Spent 4 days in hospital. You can take that away now. That's gross. She's in a fight. She wouldn't put out, so I smacked her. I mean, it was only fair. Looks like a Snapchat filter. Yeah, she won.
Kind of better.
Is that hospital one? Or is
No,
that
that's at home.
Oh, okay.
That's recovery.
She looks better now. All better. Like it was a cyst or an abscess.
It was an abscess.
It was an abscess on a face. I mean, if you're going to get
it was a pimple that led to an abscess.
There we go.
So don't cop pimples.
Who would have known? But okay, this all leads me back to the question: do we replace her, or will we try and fix her again? The nails will make her look better.
Heather and Mike.
mics on.
Because it's just you guys are fucking hilarious.
Oh, dearie me. How long, can anybody tell me how long I've actually been on
Right, I'm
this
going.
live feed? An hour and 20 minutes. Oh, that's right.
It's right. The kids are inside with the movie.
The kids, did they steal popcorn?
Nah, I told them to. I'm on the fuck at me making that house. So shut the fuck up.
Oh, I've got the internet.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Just,
Go put a movie on, and I don't want to hear you. Get your fucking shoes off. Do not walk out the back door, or I'm going to knock you flying when I come home.
you're a harsh mother. You're a harsh
How you
parent.
got to be.
So, okay, so the question, do I replace you when you're gone?
Why?
You're like practically dying.
I know. But anyway,
I could get a sister wife, start the process of replacing you. Anybody think that's a good idea? I'm going to get punched if I don't shut up. Oh, dear God.
what's that, Heather? Oh, is that beetroot and cucumber?
You're strange, Heather Nacko.
That's yum.
What do you mean?
Yum. Beetroot with cucumber. Mm-mm.
She's strange. She needs to go to the gym as well for a
I
couple
do.
hours.
I do. Missing my gym.
Public holiday, so the gym's, like, all the classes are closed.
Tomorrow morning.
Are you going tonight? Are we going out for dinner tonight?
I think Tash, I don't know, she hasn't got back to me because Cooper's going to be home.
So what?
So
Go somewhere where we can take the kids.
I don't know. I'll see. Anyway, I'm going.
Okay, see ya.
Later.
Say goodbye to you. Rightio. There you go. Rightio. Just,
Going now.
okay. I don't even know what the fucking story was. Can you stay home and we can make our own story? That's another no. Okay, just as a heads up, anything that's been said in the chat for the last 5 minutes, I'm not even going to bother going back. I might scroll back through to see if there's anything really funny. I can't give her any money. I only had $65 in my wallet, and I gave her all that. There is nothing left in my wallet other than receipts. Look, it's empty. It's bare. The cupboard is bare. 79. She's a keeper. Ah, dear God. God risking death. Tell the missus to piss. Do you give her more money after that? She'll just swipe it anyway. Bye-bye, ex-wife. What else have we got? Always at the gym, always sick. How often do you gym? Are you sick, Pete? No, I get the man flu, and I nearly die each time, but because I'm a man, I don't go to the doctor. I just sit on my bed and whinge and bitch about it relentlessly. Remember, next time you argument, she's right. She's always right. Not even a spare battery. Moths from the wallet, and they're all dead moths. I need a drink of water. Did the statistics for YouTube jump up when my wife come online? No, it didn't. It went down. It went down. Wait a minute, how do I do the left screen transition? Look, statistics went down when Kylie come on. About there, we went down to 50, it went up a bit, it went down a bit. What do we max at? 64. Wow, that's pretty cool. But you can actually see where all the comments jumped up. 13 comments per minute or per second. I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, back to the normal, what do you call it? Programming. Mushroom wallets. I don't think I've ever had the flu. I get it a couple of times a year. I almost die a couple of times a year. Should have done a Jane Jensen on him. Is that Jane Jensen? Or is that Lorena Bobbitt? She took all your worth. Clearly I'm not worth much. Richard, you need testers like the Lakota or the Opus 3100. I love them. However, I am getting the the 4Ss from what do you call it? I'm losing the plot now. I've completely lost it. From Rowan. She's not a very good power. I don't know, man. She's got plenty of power. She got plenty of power. What I'm not showing you is the broken arm. Richie, got a couple of Opus charger discharges. Statistics are bollocks, mate. Absolutely. Statistics mean nothing. Discharge must be controlled so voltage doesn't get below 3 volts. Absolutely. I agree. I've caught up with the chat. I've actually just ignored an enormous bunch of the chat, but anyways. What else we got? You're going to have to get some more chats up, otherwise I am going to run away and go and do some work. Pete, do you replace batteries at work? No. As work jobs? No, I don't. No, I don't, fortunately. I've done a few replacement batteries, but I don't enjoy it. It's too long, it's too hard, and people think you can do it for, $4. In my day job, I work for $90 an hour. But granted, I might only work 3 hours a day. So working for a few dollars doesn't really work for me. How about building yourself an EV trike? I would like to do something like that, but it's a pit bike. Did anybody see where I shared on DIY Powerwalls not so long ago? This, and I should see if I can see this fast. If I can't see it fast, I'm going to move on. Special gearbox. I'm sure I shared this a few times actually. Of course, transition. I want to get this because I got a little pit bike. So my pit bike is my world, but my ears are really messed up and I don't enjoy it anymore. So this is like a Chinese motor with a what is it? 4,000 watt motor in it. I'm probably going to need a 10,000 watt motor, they reckon, to haul my heavy ass around. But it does go 60 volt down to 96 volt. I was thinking about doing the battery packs for this and building it in such a way that I could use the battery packs out of this to run my Powerwall. But I'm not overly sure whether that will happen. But this is definitely in the works. I'm using some of my affiliate money that's in US dollars. So Tom Amarin from his store, that's American dollars. And I think, what is it, Banggood and a few others are paying American dollars into PayPal. So I'm saving up all that money, and I'm only like $100 into that process. But it is $670 USD. So I'm hoping to be able to buy that and put that into my bike. And I was thinking about using these batteries on that project, but be able to use that battery every other day to power my Powerwall. But I think the amp draw on these cells for the size of the battery pack isn't going to work. There's maths in there involved, and I'll probably screw shit up royally. So Aaron, so Tesla in September might be August. I'd be super keen on that Aaron B. That would be awesome. Where am I up to? Preferences to fuse each cell in a pack. Yes, I am leaning back towards fusing every cell in the pack. Hence, I'm going to go with Tom Amarin's cell holder things, the fused cell things. Did someone chucking a hoverboard? You find someone chucking a hoverboard, you get 2 good motors. But is that enough for a motorbike? And I want to actually go fast. If you've seen me ride my motorbike, I don't usually play any games when I'm going around corners. I'm 90 kilos. My bike is another 50 odd kilos or something like that. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find, without doing anything stupid. Where's my photos? Photos. Pictures, documents. I really don't have much on this computer. Star.jpg, enter. It is star.jpg on my computer, and it just finds a great deal of really weird shit. And basically what I am looking for now is a photo of my motorbike. It's got to be here somewhere, right? And I have so many photos on this computer, it is nuts. So that corner there, transition, that's my bike. And that's me on top of my bike. That corner there, I think I take it about 80 kilometers an hour with my knee on the ground. And that winds out along the straight and goes up to probably, I think 106 kilometers an hour is the fastest I've ever got to on that particular track. And that was with a $5,000 worth of motor and my heavy ass on its back. It's a full billet aluminium frame, so it's a really heavy frame, but I've snapped frames before and put my buddy's life at risk when I hit him in the back of the head when he was in front of me with a snapped in half bike. So I don't plan on going down that route anymore. Running away to work is overrated. Take a holiday. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I need to pay the bills. What's the benefit of 48 volt over 24? Size of cables. Amps, it halves the amount of heat. It doubles the efficiency. It's cheaper to BMS. No, it's not cheaper to BMS. It's cheaper to run all the cables and stuff like that because you don't have to get as heavier cables. And it's more efficient. Efficiency is probably the best. Pete, can you recommend a good 7S charger for me, please? 7S, just go a PCM60X from MPP Solar. One of them, but that's from Solar. But if you want 7S, you'd have to go one of these, which is a T8 from ISDT. I like them. I've used them a lot. I've used this particular one a lot. And what I've done is I've built a balance lead, and I've made, I don't know if we can see this, I was going to do a video on it, but it didn't video very well. All the cables have got like clips on them, but all the clips go down the cable, so by the time you get from one end to the other, it goes from 1S to 8S. So that's my balancing lead when I want to do stuff up here. I can just plug each one of these clamps in, and it's all in order because I can't get it out of order because they're all hanging at the right length, so to speak. But that's a really good one. So that's an ISDT T8 unit. If you have a look below, there might be a link to my kit where I got them for sale, or private message me and I'll give you an affiliate link if you'd like to buy one and support the channel. Let's face it, that's what we YouTubers do. Thanks, Andy. 24 volts requires 2 times the amp to the same draw of a 48 volt. That is almost exactly what I said. Pete, go and watch Vortex channel now. He has finished his V3 e-bike using 120 Lido Carla cells. Copy. I will. Where's my notepad? Notepad. There we go. I'll have a look at that later if I remember. I've had Molicel reach out to me to sponsor a video, so maybe I can get some high drain Molicels and do that. Maybe I can still plan the battery and use the high drain cells in my Powerwall as well. That'd be kind of cool if I could do that. But those sorts of bigger deals that are sponsored take a little bit of time to work out because I'm not very good at that. I really should get a manager that can do all the sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. I'll stick to talking shit on live streams. V3 e-bike using 120 cells. That is not very many cells. How did you go with the smoke alarm testing? It is still it's still there, but my neighbours got sick and tired of the alarm going off all the time. Rowan. Average Joe, welcome. I charge XX. X8 will also do the same thing. They are also very, very good units. Average Joe just spammed the hell out of me. I need to upgrade from my Sky RC6X charger. Hi Joe. iChargers are really good. Sky RC are also very good. I only blew up my Sky RC charger when I connected the output to the input and blew it up. Again, I was making a video and screwed shit up. Hi Joe, I thought he died again. Just about Vex get an iCharge. Average Joe, how's it booming? What's the reason for going back to fusing every cell? I'm scared, and that is it. The community has used every cell fusing across the board and hasn't had any problems. There's not very many of us doing multi-cells, and I'm not comfortable with it. One thing is the pack. If anybody knows the 157p packs I had there, and now they're on site at my buddy's house in a 7S configuration. There's a lead to lithium video, and my voice is starting to go. I've got one pack out there that's self-discharging really heavily. It's actually losing 0.1 of a volt every 2 weeks. But there's no hot cells, there's no heat. I've had the thermal camera over it and I can't find it. So to actually fix that pack, I've got to disconnect all of the fuses, and then I'm going to have to replace in between 2 and 3 cells, and they're probably going to go 0 volt very, very quickly. So that's the main reason. It's just because I know I've got a problem with that pack. To the degree I've got another pack here built. I'm actually soldering everything onto it. Another 157p pack there. That's going out onto that off-grid property as a replacement. I'll fix the other pack and I'll leave it out there as a just in case replacement. Have you seen the staggered battery config holder? Are they the ones that Keith from Shrink is selling? They're awesome. Booming is slow. Sonic Boom is very quick. He's on a lunch break. Well, I have had my old mountain bike use a 1000-watt 48V spoke. I can get up to 50 mile an hour fairly quick, but probably not work on a pit bike. I don't think it'd work on a pit bike, and I need a considerable amount of power on that pit bike for me to be happy. I really can put that bike through a corner at 100 kilometers an hour and not even flinch. I run super slick Sava tires, and there's so much confidence. I've had that bike for 7 or 8 years, and I can really launch that thing through a corner, and I don't care. I just hold the throttle wide open with my knee on the ground. I actually wear out knee pads faster than I wear out tires. 7:26 p.m. Whoever is private messaging me and it's just going nuts, I am not looking. Well, kind of not looking. I just looked. Shitballs. Right, stop looking. There they go again. Thank you very much, Mike. That's past dinner. For the normal peoples, yes, I work. For the work, it's lunchtime. Thanks, Pete. Where am I up to? Evening shift. Yup. How many hours do you work a day? And getting paid. Getting paid is important. I have loads of Molicel batteries that are best. They're beast. Yes, Molicel batteries. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I think I went too big on that because with the Molicel thing, I might actually contact him again. I was hoping to get some cells from him for this off-grid, and I asked probably very rudely, but I want to be able to do better as a YouTuber. I want to be able to recommend a product based on actual use, not just a video. I've done it too many times in the past. I've done a video, the thing's died, I felt bad. I've reached out to all these people and said, look, it wasn't worth the $4 I made from you for buying that unit. I think far too many YouTubers just go down the route of that affiliate link video. They plan a video just for the affiliate link, or the products that they use. I'm going to try and be better and steer away from that sort of mentality, and just recommend stuff that I know works. And the one way I can get stuff to work was I said, well, Molicel, if you're serious and you stand behind your product, I asked for 1,200 cells, right? I didn't ask for one or two. I asked for 1,200 high capacity cells. And the reasoning behind that, in my head, was I was going to test all the cells and do what we do and write the number on them and see if there was a failure rate there, and then put them on the off-grid property. So and have my battery that I built, and then underneath that have the Molicels. And in 18 months' time, 2 years' time, because remembering that we only take about 5 or 6 kilowatt hours per day on the off-grid sites. It's a 10 kilowatt hour battery, but he would like more. So if I put the Molicels underneath and I put my cells on top, it would create a very honest way of testing these cells and whether it was worth it for the community. Because I can see myself doing this for many years to come. I'm not in it for the short term. I've been in it for years and stuff now, and I'm still building more packs. I really think that would be a really, really good test. But I think that may have scared them off. I'm pretty sure that scared them off. But if they stood behind the product, they could ask me for money. I probably could, contribute or something. I don't know how it works. Look, I really don't. I'm not very good at doing this side of things. I've said that. But maybe I could reach out to them for the bike and then put them through that load. Maybe that's an option. I'll think about that. 120 cells, 200 cells for a bike. That's not too many. And certainly I think I can give them a return on investment there, because they said that they could sell cells for like $2 each or something US. Brand new high drain cells or something. I can't remember. Don't quote me. The email was a month ago. But anyway, Average Joe, boobs. Thank you very much. Enough said. You can go back to work now. I got 140 of those Lido Carla cells a few months back. They were quality for the XP built. Awesome. Well, that's good to know. But I guess it's where you get them from too, because you still get them from like a non-reputable place as well and get burnt. Forget to mention that Lido cells are 26 650s, 5 amp hours. Okay. 3 kilowatt hour pack. I was thinking at 96 volts, I probably want 5 or 6 kilowatt hours. I want enough to be able to do like 20 minutes of absolutely balls and all riding, just flat out for 20 minutes. Because the sessions, by the time you warm the tyres up, the sessions are 10 or 15 minutes long. So you get about 10 minutes of just full noise. So and I'd like a hot swap. The plan in my head is to be able to take where the petrol tank is, actually have a hot swappable battery. And inside the frame, so inside of the aluminium frame, so it's as safe as possible. I put a lot of effort into making sure that sucker was mounted like nothing else, but still hot swappable by one massive Anderson connector. I could actually slide it into a mount or something, and then literally be able to bring it home and then slide it into another mount with different connectors on a different part of the battery where I could charge it in 48 volt configuration. What's 48 plus 48? That's 96 volt. So maybe I could do two 48 volts side by side, and that'd be the 96 volt battery. That might work. Bloody maths, eh? It's fantastic stuff. 300 amp motor controller. I'm definitely going to have a look at that. You've got me. You've got me interested. House Pack 5. Cell 5. Hashtag Cell 5. I gave that away. I gave that away a few months ago now. I offered to give it away for a long time, and nobody picked it up. And then somebody had an off-grid property, and they wanted to run the fan in his off-grid toilet for his composting toilet and the light. So it was reconfigured in a 12 volt format, a 3S, and is now running a shitter. Quite literally, a shit pack is running a shitter. Go figure, hey? Freaking awesome build that is. Joe's pack holder may be better in that case. Maybe you should try and walk through on the pit bike. I think the video for that would be really good. I'm not sure how I want to go about that. The pit bike is buried down there because it's got a bald back tyre. It's $120 to fix a back tyre, and I'd rather do YouTube than fix my bike. And it hurts my ears too, which doesn't help. I got all Molly cells from medical packs. Yes, and that is where their good reputation comes from. He made parts list and documented the build. Okay, Vortex, go onto his channel next. You've convinced me. 88 cents, what a deal. I'm paying $3 a pound on the scales. We've lost 50 net packs. Chris, I think you're in the UK from memory. I don't know. No, that's Dan, sorry. Dan. 50, 90 cells, 33 cents. Makes me feel good about I got from Hookup. I'm working on the next vid. Work and fixing my vehicle has been keeping me busy. Average Joe, are you doing a Watchman 5 vid? Pete should maybe look at salvaging Zero motorbike. I haven't even seen a Zero motorbike in Australia. If you own a Zero motorbike and you're in Australia, I don't even think they are here, but if you do, ride around to my house, we'll charge it off me Powerwall, and then we'll go for a cut. Well, one of us will. I've got a full license. Andy Lee Robson, good job. Average Joe. Horn, yeah. Pete picked up 3 7.6 kWh packs, 25 amp hour prismatic cells from Ford hybrid cars for a Powerwall. They have 2 7S packs built into a couple. A couple X8 iChargers and test all the cells. That is awesome. You could actually do regen as well with the X8, I believe, so you don't waste energy as a bunch of heat. Anyone done a pip with supercaps? Maxwell 48 volt. No, I haven't done a pip with supercaps. That'd be an interesting project as well, because I don't understand the supercapacitors either. I'm not going to fuse each cell, but we'll fuse each pack. Up to you. I would personally do each cell. You got a lot of amps there. Pete's interested now. There's a crappy way to go for. Yes, absolutely a crappy way to go for cell 5. I thoroughly agree with you there. It's kind of ironic though that that's where it ended up. What have we got? 36 people in the room. I might actually, I've caught up with the chat now, so I might call it a day and go and see my kids. The wife has messaged me twice, probably offering me, nah, she's not offering me anything. She will be back eventually from the thing. Anyway, tubers, I am going to call that a day. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined in. If you're still here, smash that like button. It helps the channel greatly, and I do appreciate it. If you haven't seen my last awesome two videos that I've done have been on point. One about cell 5 and installing the shunt trip and stuff. If you've got any questions about cell 5, Watchman 5, please go ahead and ask me. I'd love to show you. If I do the thing this afternoon, I might do another live feed and say I'm going to do something this afternoon. I should get the wife to buy some, cordial or something so we can have drinks together. And we might do something. I don't know. I'll put it on Facebook if I'm going to do anything here this afternoon. It'll be short notice as to not swap me with too many people. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. And I've got another heap of messages. Let's plan to change Pope Solar. Yep, nearly 2 a.m, mate. Off ski. See you later, Chris. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully she's offering you some snacks are good, but there's something better. Good to see Pete the Gangwell call today. Listen up, it's today. Good night, day night. Caught up live stream. Thank you very much. Well, see you, Joe. Joe. Thank you very much for tuning in, Joe. See you later, Joe. Go back to work, Joe. Night all, Joe. Thank you very much. Catch you later, Pete. Thank you very much. And I am up to date. Thank you very much. I am clicking end. Where is it? Stop streaming. I'm out. Thank you very much.